everybody. Welcome to
hello.
today's live stream. I'm Ja, and today I have Mikey.
Mike. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I see that a lot of people are already going off in the chat. First of all, yes, I've seen a few people saying my hair doesn't look like my usual hair. Correct. I just had a fresh haircut just before the lockdown, you know, here in the Netherlands. So yes, indeed, new hair.
Just in time.
Yeah. So, yeah, of course, Mike is actually not sitting next to me per usual, but if you're new, I'll just repeat this for your sake. He's not here because he, yeah, well, he's very far away because, you know, like, and then he's back. So don't worry, guys, we'll stay safe and hope you guys also stay safe. And welcome, and we hope we have a lot of fun today. So, of course, you can already see loads of desktops on the desk. And yeah, what are we going to do today? We'll have some live benchmarks. I'll tear down the desktops and I will show you all the differences, what you can expect from every lineup and series. And then, of course, we'll also do some Watch Dogs Legion gameplay at the end, also to show the performances with. If you have any questions, just ask them in between. We'll keep track of the chat the best we can. You know, we are streaming on YouTube, on Twitch, Periscope, so Twitter and Facebook. So whatever you want to ask, just drop it in the chat. And of course, we also have our usual giveaway. My head is blocking the link right here. So just go to msi.com/2/insider, and the more actions you perform, the more chances you have at winning one of the Watch Dogs Legion giveaway. And also we
will
have
also put a direct link in the chat right now. Once every, I believe, 5 or 6 minutes, our bots will also put the giveaway link directly, at least to Twitch and YouTube. So if you're watching there, you can also just follow the link in the live chat and join the giveaway.
Yep. And somewhere along the stream, we'll also give away the collector's edition with a lot of cool stuff in it, as you can see also here on the poster behind me. And yeah, and we actually also have like a new program, right, Mike? Because nowadays you can also claim your loyalty bonus. And from previous streams, yeah, we have already seen that some people have started to make use of the loyalty bonus because the more you have...
We saw people winning with it as well.
Yeah. So that's just, you know, our way of throwing some extra goodies your way for, you know, the people that keep watching our show. We really appreciate that. All of your support, of course. So yeah, if you go to msl.com/who/insider or the direct link in the chat, you will also see how much, if you have any loyalty bonus at all. And yeah, whether you make use of it, that's up to you. So let's have some fun now. Okay, I think I'm going to stand up for this one because we have some big stuff right here to be taken care of. Yeah. All right. So
I got my magic bottle, by the way.
All right, Mike. I will leave the chat for now up to you because I'm going to dive right in here. Okay, so starting on this side, let me start with the small ones. Here we have our Infinite S10, so with the RTX30 series implemented. Here I've already taken the pleasure of taking off the hood because, you know, we're going to do some teardowns later, so you can already have a taste of what it's like. Here's the hood. And this, of course, along with our...
Ooh.
Who can guess what this is?
The Christmas version.
Along with this one, which is... No, it's not a PS5. Come on, people. All right, since there's a little bit of a delay in the chat, I'm just going to say it. Oh, somebody guessed it. Nightwish guessed it. Trident. Yes, Trident, but specifically Trident 3. So this one, our Infinite S with the Trident 3 are actually our smallest gaming desktops. Actually, one of the smallest you can find on the market right now. But despite their sizes, they're still very powerful. They're excellent mid-range, even 1440p, capable of doing that, gaming desktops. So after I have gone one by one regarding what they're all about in their series, I'll also show you guys, you know, in a summary, in a table, what exactly are the differences and what you can expect from these lineups. So every little detail is going to be in that. So don't worry, I'll cover that in just a minute, so you don't have to scratch your head regarding, what's the CPU, what's the GPU, it's all going to be covered. Right now, I just want to show you guys, the sizes, the internals, yeah, just the ins and outs of the product itself. All right, guys.
I see a question from Baltic Seal. He's asking, why can I get the 6 loyalty bonus? I'm participating in giveaways for over a year and still getting you need more than 3 campaigns. I think that's because I believe it starts counting from when the loyalty bonus started.
Yeah, I believe we started.
And we've only been doing that for a couple of weeks. So right now you can probably only claim up to that specific number of live streams where you participated. But over time, that will, of course, be more and more. So I don't think it goes all the way back until before we started with the loyalty program. So I think that's the reason.
Okay, I see I Thunder Crash is asking, hey, I own a MSI MEG Trident 10th. MEG, then it's supposed to be a Trident X 10th. The highest end PC. I was wondering if I can put my MSI 30 80 Ventus in it. The answer to that is yes. Very simple. Later, when I actually when I open this one up, I'll also show you, because the chassis is still the same. You have the same volume, the same size. I can also show you after I've torn this down just how much room there's still left, because there is a 3080 Ventus in here right now. So yes, short version to your answer, you can do that, no worries. And all right, okay. If there's any other question, I'll hear from Mike, but for now, I'll just continue. So here we have the Infinite S within our Infinite series, and here next to it is the Trident X, one lucky bird that also has this one. So this is the Trident X in our Trident series. So this one is also the 10 series. Well, the 10th gen actually, with the RTX30 GPUs implemented. So actually all of these desktops, so whenever you see like a 10th behind the name, it means they have the 10th generation CPU. But the regular ones were with the RTX 2000 series or the 20 series. But of course, then the RTX30 series came out, and we wanted to refresh the desktops with the 30 series. But it took some time because the 30 series, they use more power compared to the 20 series. So we had to prepare the desktops and refresh them in proper way. Upgrade the PSU where needed. So that's why sometimes when you look around on the internet or on the website, you will see the same models listed twice. But then for these ones, you will see into brackets RTX30. That means it's the same 10th generation CPU, our lineup, but the only upgrade is the RTX30. So the rest are basically the same. So in case you were wondering about that, because you have looked around. All right, so this is the Trident X from our Trident series. Within the Trident series, this is our most high-end gaming desktop that you can get, packed with all the goodies that you would like to have. 10900K.
I already see a very good question in chat.
Ooh.
Nick Hill is asking on YouTube, but can it run Crysis?
Crysis. I thought you were going to say, can it run this Microsoft Flight Simulator? But sure, Crysis. We'll go with that. No problems. How many FPS? That's for you to find out. Yeah, so guys, any questions that you have regarding any of the desktops or anything that you're scratching your head with, just drop them in the chat. As you can see, we try to pick them out the best we can.
Rodrigo is asking on YouTube, will there be an RX 6000 series desktop?
Ooh, good question. Actually, this has been on my mind as well. But, there's unfortunately nothing that I can say about it, and this does not conclude that, oh, if he can say anything about it, that must be true. This is not that case, so let me just be clear. I literally cannot say anything about it because we don't know anything yet. We might, our headquarters, our colleagues there might be planning something for next year with a 6000 series from AMD. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see, but for now, no conclusions yet. So, unfortunately, I cannot say anything about that.
And I see many people wondering if it can run Cyberpunk.
Which one? This one? The Trident X? Well, hell yeah, you can.
Basically, all of them that you have in front of you should be able to run Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah, so this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one here. Well, the reason that I'm not putting this one on the table, well, there's a little catch to that, so I'll get to that after this, so you will know why. Well, yeah, all of them can run Cyberpunk. So the only thing is that, of course, this is not our high-end desktop. So with this one, with a 10700 non-K and a RTX30 60 Ti, well, of course you can run Cyberpunk. You can even play it on 1440p, but that means it's a very demanding game. You're not going to be running it at really high FPS. So in 1440p with this one, for example, I would suggest to really tune with the settings if you want to play around 60 and 70 FPS. So,
and it also depends if you want to use ray tracing or not, and stuff like that. If you use DLSS, for example, so you can definitely tune it around. You can play it for sure on a 3060 Ti as well.
Yeah.
And so another question in chat from Matthew on YouTube: will there be Ryzen options?
Well, that's actually well, we already sort of have, but they're not in our main lineup. Because we do have some Ryzen desktops, but they're more like for some special project with retails and stuff like that. So you can still kind of find them somewhere on the internet, but it's not readily available.
It depends a bit on the region, right?
Where
because
you
it's,
are.
for example, a large customer that orders a lot of custom systems,
exactly. So
for example, with a Ryzen CPU.
Very dependent on where you are. But our mainstream desktops, they're always available everywhere. Or take it with a grain of salt, of course. Sometimes the stock is just out of stock in your region or somewhere, something like that. So, but generally they should be readily available everywhere. But more regarding that, I'll also get into it more specifically later per model. All right, so here we have the Trident X. Yeah, really nothing much more to say about it for now, except for the Trident X really is the highest version in our Trident lineup, because there we have the Trident A, we have the Trident AS, we have the Trident 3, all within the 10th generation. And this one is just really the most high-end. And then moving to this one, you can also see that there's a big difference between this one and this one, right? Yeah, what I should also add is that within our Trident gaming desktop version, which is one of the focus points that you should also remember, is that the size. Within the Trident versions, the Trident series, the size is really the biggest differentiating factor. Because they really never go bigger than the Trident X, which is only a 13-liter gaming desktop. So it's compared to like a normal mid-tower sized gaming desktop, which is right here. You can see just how much thinner and smaller it actually is. So that's one of the biggest, because specification-wise, between this one and this one, because this one is also the highest end gaming desktop within our Infinite series. Specification-wise, there isn't much difference. Both running 10900K up to, and RTX 3080. So you can see really the only thing here is the size. So if you prefer to play on a very similar size as this one, then you can go for the Infinite S. It's easy to travel, carry around. It doesn't take much space on your desk. Same for the Trident X. But if you really want to enjoy the full, glory of a tower, well, it's not a full tower, it's a mid-tower. But you want to enjoy the tower-sized gaming desktop, you can go for the Infinite X and still keeping all the same specifications like this one.
I see a question in chat from Sockmancy is asking on YouTube, do you sell gaming chairs? I think he saw your chair on the side.
Yeah, one is right here, right here. We actually have...
If you're interested in gaming chairs, we actually did live streams about that in the past. So if you go to the MSI Gaming YouTube, there you will find the MSI Insider playlist, where you can find all our live streams that we have every Wednesday. And we also have a live stream about the gaming chair.
Right. So it was,
you can even see how
Jab
puts it together.
Yeah, and also really almost falling out of it and stuff like that. We also tried to cut it. We put a photo in the chat, but yeah, that's for another time. Check it out after this live stream, but for now, stay here. Where was I? So yeah, the Infinite X. So this is the Infinite X 10th, the highest end in the Infinite series. Yeah, I will go more into details regarding all the specification differences, like I said, later. But for now, let me just briefly go through them, because this one right here is the Aegis Ti5, which is our latest gaming desktop. I also did like a very detailed live stream about this, like quite a few weeks ago or a month ago. So if you're interested after the live stream, you can also go check that out. But here, well, the Aegis is really where we try our best with our creativity and be daring and stand out, and still being innovative and just kicking it with the highest end configurations there is. Because in here too we have the 10900K and 3080, but functionality wise and specifications, this one is different than these two. But I'll show you that later when I power this one up, because I already saw some people in the chat say, talking about, oh, they want to see this gaming dial in action, and that is exactly what I'm going to do later. This is a gaming dial that you can click and turn, and they have very specific functions. So if you really want the best of the best, and you want to stand out, you want to enjoy the most innovative features, Aegis Ti5 is really the place to be. So, and yes, in case you wonder if this one can play Crysis, most definitely. No worry there. Okay. So
I see another question in chat. Twitch chat, Trident Series is asking, do you make future water cooling with one fan, so not the 240 or 360 millimeter version?
Yeah, do we, Mike?
Perhaps. At this point, we only have 240 and 360. But maybe, just maybe in the future, we will have more sizes. Take from that what you will.
All right, I'm gonna make some space, because now I'm going to get into more details per model, and also open them up and show you the insides.
I see some people really asking about Ryzen. We already talked about that topic, as well as the 6000 series from AMD.
Yeah, people are nowadays really curious about Ryzen now.
Mother is asking on YouTube, what's the RAM frequency that the Core i9 needs? Well, in the 10th generation, the maximum, like the native frequency of a Core i9 is 2933 megahertz. But if you run a Z series chipset, then you can also overclock with your memory, and then of course you can go higher. But natively, Core i9 supports 2933 megahertz. Core i7 does the same, and for example, Core i3, Core i5 go up to 2666.
So I'm just trying to show you guys the size when I close the case.
So this is around 10 liters, right?
Yeah, it's 10 liters. In length, it's only 35 centimeters, and in the width, it's only 13 centimeters. So really small. As you can see, my forearm is right here, and if you compare it to my forearm, it's not even all the way, so it's just this big. So if you just look at your arm, you can see, yeah, it's really small. And even though it's so small, it's still quite powerful. All right, so let me open this up again. So, the hood is nothing really special, nothing going on here, just quite a regular hood with a breathing area for the GPU. And put this aside. So starting with one side, or maybe I'll show you the front side first. On the detail cam, we can see here we have a LED strip. So this is where the Mystic light comes through. Let me power this on so you can see what I mean. So with this one, it's very subtle. It's not really intrusive or really in your face. Just it's there, but if you don't want it, you barely notice it's there.
I already see questions in chat. No RGB. Yes, it does have RGB.
There you go. And I see I I just cleaned this one actually, and the front side already is with covered with my fatty fingers.
Did you have a hamburger for lunch?
No, I had fries. It's even worse. So here you have the RGB strip. And that's all. And that's all the RGB this one has, the Infinite S10.
Actually, is asking on Twitch chat, is it smaller than a PS5? I don't know what the volume of the PS5 is.
Me neither. So, but
this is around 10 liters
Mike
of
will find out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me power this off again because I don't want to electrocute myself or damage the PC while I'm doing this and that. All right, so let's take a look at this side then. Here we have a, well, the UDIM we have on the back side of the motherboard actually. And here we also give you extra space for the M.2. So anytime you feel like you can just pop off the hood, it's really easy. All it takes is like 2 screws. You can exchange the M.2 whenever you want. You can upgrade. You can also upgrade this part. So it's quite easy. We give you space here. And then if you take a look at the top side, we have slots for example, another 3.5-inch HDD or a 2.5-inch SSD, whatever you want to do. The connector is already pre-installed, so all you have to do is shove in the SSD and voila. And this one is at the top.
By the way, I googled the PS5 volume. Let me see the size. If you multiply all the sizes, then you would get 10.5 liters.
Quick
so that's
math.
approximately the same.
So this,
but of course, it has some strange shapes. So.
This one is 10, to be exact.
Yeah, but it has some strange shapes, so I don't know if you can actually put 10.5 liters inside the case of PlayStation. But it's approximately, in terms of volume, they are very similar. But it's more narrow and it's taller compared to the Infinite S.
All right, cool. And then let's take a look at the back side. So loads of USB Gen 3 3.2s to your liking, and a very small SFX power supply. So everything all in all.
Now this is not SFX, by the way. This is
oh,
Flex
sorry,
ATX.
This yeah. So a very, very compact system. You can carry it with you whenever you want. Very easy. You can put it next to the PC, I mean your TV if you want to, because you feel like, you know, just kicking your legs up on the couch, play some controller games, that's fine. You can take it to your friends, very easy. So you can see.
Put it in a backpack, go to, I wanted to say go to a LAN party, but yeah, that's kind of tricky now with COVID.
Yeah, maybe not now, so wait for that for just a little bit. Well, you can still go to your friends, right? Because it's still allowed to visit some people if it's like within certain limits, right? So that's okay. And then
and keep your distance. Be safe, people.
If we turn it to this side, we'll have, well, the GPU. And here you can also see the power supply. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really easy to upgrade, as you can see. There's nothing really in the way. You can untie this whenever you want to, and then exchange, upgrade if you feel like it, as long as the power supply can take it, of course. So do really keep in mind that whenever you're doing upgrades, that you're not going beyond the power supply's limit. All right, so that's for the Infinite S. It's really a compact system and really has its purpose. And if you feel like this is something that you're looking forward to, then yeah, you can get this one with a configuration of up to 10700 with RTX30 Ti. So that's for the Infinite S. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, this one is going to be down at the table.
Mr. Masterdox is asking, does it mean it has a single channel SODIMM memory? Because you can see a memory module on the back of the PCB, of the motherboard.
Yes, correct. This one is actually a single channel. All right. Oh, Masterdox. You're really keeping at it, huh? Every live stream you can see Mr. Masterbox.
One of our regulars.
Yep. I
Always
wonder what his loyalty points are.
I think
the
they all
bonus.
started from scratch, so should not be that high yet, but will increase, I assume. I see Nahid is asking, are those laptop RAMs? Yeah, SODIMM is what's also used in notebooks because it's a more compact form factor compared to the full DIMM that you will find in most desktops, especially bigger ones. But if you go this small, then you need to make certain adjustments to make everything fit in there. But SODIMM will give you great performance as well, so no need to worry about that.
And again, this is like a regular size controller. I would say it's pretty much a Xbox One or X sized controller, and if you just put it next to it, you can see.
So we don't have a banana for scale, unfortunately.
I actually ate my banana for lunch, so I'll have to fish it out of the
with the fries.
trash
That's
can.
an interesting combination, banana and fries.
Yeah, try to keep it healthy with the banana. When you eat the fries, you feel guilty. Then you try to
compensating.
Yes, exactly. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, with December coming up, all the December kilograms building up in your body. You got to give it something good once in a while. Cool. Let me retire this one.
Lucas is asking, what PSU is in it, and can I replace it myself for upgrades?
Well, I wouldn't suggest you to. Well, of course, you can if you can find the right PSU for it, because this one you can pick it up for up to a 450 watt PSU. Nowadays within that certain limit, you can go quite well for a system. And well, if you want to do the upgrading yourself, just make sure you find the proper PSU for it. And yeah,
it's Flex ATX, so it is a form factor you can find, but it's not as easy to find as, for example, ATX or SFX. Those are more commonly available.
So if you want to put time and energy into looking for it, by all means, go ahead.
And it is doable nowadays. I always like the very small form factor systems.
Mike
also
is definitely Mike, give him your email address.
No, but for example, I know Silverstone, I believe, recently have like a 500 watts, 80 plus gold model that they released for Flex ATX. FSP has got several models from them, so you can find them, but you will have to look for them.
When are we going to release it?
No plans yet, but maybe in the future. Right now we only have ATX power supplies, but I think if we go smaller than ATX, it's more likely that we would start with SFX, because it's more common in custom PC building than Flex ATX.
Like in this one.
Joshua Hen is asking on YouTube, can any of them fit an SFX power supply? Good question, because it's actually in front of Jan now.
Yeah, this one yes, but the previous one, the Infinite S, no. So in this one, there's actually also a SFX sized PSU. I can show you that later when I open this up.
And with SFX, you can go far nowadays in terms of how strong a power supply can be. I believe Cooler Master recently introduced an 850 watt SFX power supply. So yeah, you don't really have any limitations anymore what you can do there in terms of gaming hardware.
So I'm just showing you guys some aesthetics. Trident X right here, so the MEG Trident X, 10th generation with RTX30 refresh. As you can see on the front side, we have some LEDs, well, with our Mystic light. And on the side, you can also see our customized CPU air cooler with a Mystic light also. So everything here is actually in sync. You can make them display the same effect.
Vic is asking, are you guys Team Intel or AMD? Well, we're Team MSI, but we have products for both Intel and AMD and NVIDIA in terms of graphics cards. So yeah, for me personally, it very much depends. I've had basically everything. I've used Intel, AMD, NVIDIA. It just very much depends on what I want to build at that specific moment.
They're really trying to pick a fight between us.
Yeah.
All right, so
not gonna happen, unfortunately.
Continuing, nope. continuing with the RGB, as you can see here inside on the top, we have one more LED strip displaying the same effects as the rest of the system. And that will conclude the Mystic Light RGB part. So with this one, quite some RGB, making sure you can have, you know, all the FPS that you want, top notch.
Kuze is asking on YouTube chat, fan noise is very crucial to me. Which variant works most quietly? Trident, Infinite, or Aegis?
Well, if you're really pushing your system to the limits, to its limits, I will say in this situation the Infinite X will be the most quiet, because the Infinite X within the system itself, there's the most space for all the hardware to breathe.
Yeah, usually it is like that. Usually it's the bigger the system, the more room you have for cooling, for larger fans, so you can make them spin slower. So in general, the bigger the PC, the more quiet you can get it. That doesn't mean that every small PC is extremely noisy.
Nope.
It's definitely not like that. But if you want to have it extremely quiet, then it gets difficult, more difficult the smaller you go.
Actually, yeah, all of our systems are really quiet to begin with. You know, all of the system we always implement our silence or cooling to make sure that every hardware has its own proper chamber to breathe. So this will also make sure that the hardware itself, they will not really amp up each other's heat. But to answer your question, like I just said, in this case, the Infinite X will be the most quiet. But that doesn't mean the Trident X is noisy at all. So check out all the live streams where we did all the benchmarks in detailed performance tests. You can also there try to see or try to hear what the noise is. You'll be surprised.
Beck is asking on YouTube, do you sell any PCs without RGB?
Yes, we do. I'll get to that in just a second.
You will lose some frames then, because of course RGB gives you better FPS.
Because I'm going to show you right after this the Infinite Series, because in the Infinite Series we indeed have desktop with the RGB. Actually, with the Trident we also have one model without. It has a LED strip, but it's not RGB. So I'm not sure. It's the Trident A, right? Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's what you're looking forward to, because we have the Trident A, which is without the RGB part, but we also have the Trident AS, which is with the RGB part, and also the tempered glass. And for the rest, they're identical. All right. So let me start with this side.
Let's see. A very good question from Ozan on YouTube. Does the warranty of the
Mike, the line cut off a little bit right after you asked the question. I didn't hear it.
Try it again. Ozan is asking on YouTube, does upgrading hardware void the warranty of the PC?
Nope. Don't worry, with our gaming desktops, actually, Adam said we encourage you to do so. That's why we have dedicated our easy to upgrade feature in all of our gaming desktops, so that whenever you open your gaming desktop, you will not find yourself a jungle full of cables stuck everywhere, hardware that's really hard to reach. We actually try to make it easy for you, try to encourage you to do so. So yeah, exchanging your hardware in here does not warrant your warranty.
Void your warranty, yeah.
So not worry there. Of course, you cannot just take out the power supply and then open the power supply up. That's a little bit extreme. But if you're just exchanging hardware, replacing a fan or replacing or upgrading the GPU, that's all fine. We encourage you to do that. Okay, so the Trident X on this side, if I open it up, you can see this is our PSU sitting right here with our customized air cooling fan. Right next to it is the SFX sized PSU. I can move this around to this side a little bit. If you want to take the door off, because the Trident X comes with two doors, which is one, which is this, the tempered glass one, and we also have one that is just a solid metal plate. So if you're traveling around, you can just pop this off. That's all, and then screw on the metal plate, so it will be more transport friendly. So what do we have here? Actually, what you're seeing here, so this one is a Trident X, but like I just said, but in case you missed it, we also have this one in Trident A and Trident AS. And Trident A and AS are actually identical to the Trident X when it comes to the aesthetics, the outside and the internals. So what I'm explaining here, you can also expect from the Trident A and the AS, which are basically just the lesser models specification-wise. So instead of 10900K, you have 10700, and instead of a 3080, you have 3060 Ti and 3070. But the layout is the same. So also here, we already are using a 2.5-inch SSD for some extra storage for the games. And you have one more bracket left here for you to upgrade. And yeah, like I said, here is our CPU with our CPU cooler right in front and the SFX PSU right here.
Litek is asking, does it have a customized motherboard?
Well, this one is actually a customized motherboard for our channel model. So yeah.
So this is a mini ITX motherboard, and it's based on the mini ITX motherboards we also have separately. And you can also replace it with one of those. But for example, if we go to the rear of the system, you can see that this model also has Wi-Fi. But in this case, the antennas, they are integrated into the case. So you will not see them on the back of the motherboard. So that's, for example, a change that we made on the motherboard to use it in this system. But it is just a regular mini ITX system, or a motherboard in this situation. So you can definitely replace it.
Okay, yeah, so we just went over to the backside, but maybe before we continue, the time is really flying. We can already, you know, see who already registered for the giveaway.
One quick question, by the way, Ja. Is the PCI Express slot, does it work with a riser or is that angled? Because then you cannot replace it.
Which one? The PCI Express is no, it's not angled.
Okay, so it's just a regular one with a riser to the
So
graphics card.
Questions.
Danny Boy is saying, I thought you needed a 750 watts PSU to run a 3080. Very much depends on the rest of your system. You can definitely run it with lower power supply in case you don't have a very power hungry CPU, for example. So if you're running this with, for example, a Threadripper and a 3080, which is a high-end desktop platform CPU, then it will be a different story, and you will, of course, need a more powerful power supply. So the recommendations, they are always usually a little bit more on the safer side. So in the recommendations, you will get a more powerful PSU than in most situations you will actually need. But it all depends on the combination that you're using. If you're using a very high-end CPU that is also suitable for content creation, for example, with many cores, like a Threadripper can go all the way up to 64 cores. It draws way more power than, for example, a 6-core or an 8-core or a 10-core in a gaming PC.
Yeah. And we, of course, also really made sure that with the current 650 gold standard 80 plus power supply, which is quite efficient, that there's absolutely no problem to the power draw when you're pushing it to the max. So no.
Also, not every 650 watt power supply is the same. So a very high quality 650 power supply will not have any problems with certain configurations that another maybe cheaper version of a 650 watt power supply might have problems with. But of course, this is properly tested and the power supply really is strong enough to run this system.
Yeah, and you know, interestingly, because I see quite some people talking about power supply and wattage and draw, stuff like that. Later, I'll demonstrate Watchdog Legions on a system that has the same specifications, so the Aegis Ti5 also running 10900K and 3080. Then I can also show you during the live performance, you know, what kind of power draw is being drawn. So you have more details in your answer right there later. Okay, maybe I'll keep track of the questions, and Mike can already see who the first winner is of today, because it's already
that's a very
time is flying. So guys, if you have just joined, don't worry, because we have more to give away, because today we're giving away as you can see right here, Watchdog Legions, game keys, and we also have one collector's edition to be given away during this stream. When? That's a question. But throughout the stream, we'll give away several keys. So this will be the first one. Mike is drawing the winner. And if you just joined, you can still join the giveaway. The more actions you perform on msite.com/2/insider, the more chance you have at winning one of the game keys. And if you're looking forward to upgrading or looking for some gears in general, you can go to our website later in the stream and see, because right now we have selected MSI products that will come with the collector's edition and the game key.
I have our first winner for today.
All right. Fired it up.
And the name of the winner is, I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly, so apologies if I don't. But Dimitar Stevanov, congratulations. You won our first game code for today. Please keep an eye out on your mailbox because we will email the game code to you with some instructions on how to claim it to you in the coming days.
All right, congrats. I see Keen Toot is saying, yeah, in the Philippines watching at 11:40 p.m. Appreciate that. Hope you have fun because we still have some stuff to cover in the live stream, and the most fun part, of course, the live game demonstration is still to come. Okay, cool. So let's continue. That was the first winner. We'll make sure the second one will go a little bit quicker than the first one because I was having so much fun being nerdy. Forgot about time, honestly. So let's go. I think we already showed the backside, right, on the detail cam. So I'm just going to continue to this side, which is the power supply. So let me, for this one, take the screwdriver, and on the back side we only have 2 screws for you to unscrew. One is here and one is here. After that you have access, well, almost, let me show you. You will almost have access to the GPU. It's quite sturdy. Oop. Back panel. And here on the top we have 2 more screws to take off the top. So let me do that as well. Because after this you will have full access to the GPU chamber. And you can do the upgrading and whatnot. I think I just lost the screw.
You're known for that, right?
It fell on the ground.
And it's gone.
And it's definitely gone. I'll see when that one turns up again. It's
Otherwise,
like
the vacuum cleaner will find it.
It's really like magic. So the top side is very easy to pop off. All you have to do is just slowly, well, give a little bit force to draw to the back side and then take it off. That's it.
Yukio is saying on Twitch, saw it under the PC.
Really? Did you? Huh, all right. Got me there. I was being hopeful. You're playing with my feelings. I don't like that. All right, so now we have the full side panel removed. We can see. Let me start here. This is the briefing room for the PSU. And here we have the back side of our customized Mini ITX motherboard. So here you see the cooling pad for the M.2. Let me just, all right. It's so satisfying to play with the cooling pad. They're so squeezy, you know. I wouldn't mind just having like a ball made of, yeah, cooling pad for to replace the stress ball with. Yeah, so you can unscrew this one and upgrade this whenever you feel like it, if you feel like it's needed at all. And then moving back to this part, which is of course the most interesting part, is where the GPU resides. So here we have the RTX3080 Ventus, which is our 3X version. And as you can see here, oh well, let me turn this around. There's still some room left right here. So before somebody was asking if they had like existing Trident X10, if they can upgrade this to the RTX3080 Ventus. So here you have your answer, yes. because this one fits perfectly, and there's actually still a bit more room left, so it's not even touching the case or anything. So you really, it's quite spacious still.
And also on that side of the side panel, you do have ventilation holes, so it will be able to get fresh air.
And on the top, as you can see, still plenty of room left. So no worries at all for this part. And let me put this here. So if you want to take the GPU out, it's quite easy. You just have to take out the power supply here. Once you plug them off, unscrew the back side, you can pop them right up. And that's it. And then you can just replace the GPU, put in a new one whenever you feel like it, next generation, or you know, if you're really even fancying replacing the PSU with a 3090, that's up to you. Possible. Yeah, so that's the inside for this one. If you have any questions, just fire them up to me or to Mike. As you can see, it's very compact and everything is
Madhu
aligned
keeps
really
spamming
well.
a question, but we already answered that question, Madhu.
No worries, maybe he joined late.
Inferno is asking, is there a 3080 in that?
Yes. So just to repeat, in case you didn't get this, the Trident X comes with up to a 10900K paired with an RTX 3080. Who knows, maybe next year we'll even up the GPU even higher. I'm not saying to what, but maybe.
Peping Channel is asking, is it the same dimension for RTX Supreme 3080?
No, that's not the same.
No, that one is even bigger. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that will fit, because the Supreme is a really, really big car.
Yeah, because right now on top of my head, I cannot tell you if you can fit a Supreme in here, but I fear the chances are not looking too good. Just reassembling the PC. All right, and on the bottom is probably the last thing that I haven't showed you guys yet, but here on the bottom it's quite thick. This is the foot. And the reason is we have implemented extra fans in the foot to provide even better cooling to the CPU chamber, which is here. The fans are right underneath here. So to make sure the 10900K, which is quite powerful, is being cooled properly, especially in a a small form factor case like this. That's why we have put extra fans in there, and they don't actually produce any extra noise, like that's even noticeable. So yeah, that's the Trident X, and like I said before, I'll say it again just in case you missed it, the Trident A and the AS setup wise is exactly the same. Well, it's identical, except for in the Trident A and the AS, there are no fans in the bottom because there's no 10900K in there, so that's not needed. So the only physical difference between the Trident X, which is the most high end, and the Trident A and the AS is that there's no fan in the A and the AS versions. So this is also a little bit thinner.
Alex Mills is asking on YouTube, was that a magnetic side panel?
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically a magnetic door.
So here you see two metal pads. Inside is where the magnets are. And this will make great contact with the metal right here, so you can hear it.
Maximus Overload is saying, stream for Twitch too. Yes, we stream on YouTube, we stream on Twitch, we stream on Periscope, we stream on Facebook. We used to stream on Mixer, but Mixer disappeared, obviously. But we have many different channels that we stream to simultaneously, so we can also see the chat for different channels. That also means that it can sometimes be very busy in chat. So our apologies if we don't answer every single question that's in there. But we do try to pick out the interesting ones that are also useful for other people to answer.
So, by all means, say in the chat whatever you want to say. You can give us feedback. You can share your opinion.
Just
You
keep
can
it
ask
civilized.
questions. Yeah.
Don't say whatever you want. Keep it civilized.
Don't be toxic and don't be salty. Let's all have a good time.
And the better you guys behave, the more keys we will give away. Game
Mike
keys.
has all the power over the keys, so
Exactly.
better keep him a good friend. Yeah, so I'm just putting all the screws back in before I lose it. I actually found the last one. It didn't fall off the table. It fell to the other side, but I found it. In the meanwhile, I would just enjoy whatever you guys are saying in the chat.
Anthony is asking if it has any RGB. Maybe we can...
Oh, you missed that part.
Yeah, because we did show it, but maybe you can fire it up shortly in the end, so we can quickly take a look at the shiny
just
RGB.
finishing
on
this
this one.
screw and then I'll RGB your world. So right here, I should look in here. All right. Oh no.
So there's your screw.
Yeah, I hear rattling in the PC. I think I dropped it into the hole in the foot. Well, that's for next time.
Yeah, it's always very good with screws.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Ever since you guys started to really hammer on that fact, it started to take form.
Ever since we started memeing you about losing screws.
I give up. So
There you
yeah,
can see
3
the
places
RGB.
where we have the Mystic Light RGB. The front part, the GPU chamber at the top, we have a strip, and the CPU chamber as well with the customized CPU air cooler. And everything is having the same effect. And later I will show you also how you can do this, where you can do this, how to change it.
Ooh, Inferno 912. This new monitor arrived today. The MAG322CQR. Nice, nice. I hope you like it.
You must have a very good GPU.
It's gonna be an immersive Christmas this year.
Oh, definitely gonna have a better experience than me at home because I'm still using a 24-inch monitor. A regular
you play
Joe.
a lot of esports games, right? Then 24 inches. I think it's nice for fast esports games.
All right, this one is going away. Okay, so remember before when I was teasing with this white, small gaming desktop? So this is also one of our Tridents. And the thing about this one is, well,
Not I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, but I'm dreaming of a white gaming PC.
this is our Trident 3. And why am I kind of keeping this under the table? And that is, we don't actually have a RTX30 refresh for the 10th generation Trident 3, either in black or white. But I'm not officially allowed to tell you guys this, but I'm gonna do it anyways. We will have it the next generation. So next year, we're going to have a refresh of this model, which will have RTX 30. So keep that in mind. But the design is going to stay the same. So that's why I can already show you the outside of what this is like. It's only that I cannot show you the performance of this one yet, because this one in this 10th generation is not going to be coming with a RTX 30. That's going to be next year. Don't tell anybody that I said this, okay? So like I said earlier, this one and our Infinite S together are our smallest gaming desktops and also one of the smallest gaming desktops on the market to date. Yeah,
And you can also put it flat if you want to put it underneath a television or something.
This is the height, about, let's say give or take 35 centimeters. And you can take it off the feet, or the standard, however you want to call it. And you can actually put it down like the traditional gaming console, you know, PlayStation 4, you know, or the Xbox. They can also kind of be used like this way. Here you have the same case. So as you can see here, very thin. It's just slightly longer than my hand. It reaches up to my wrist. This is about, let's say, give or take 17, 18 centimeters in width. In length is about 35. And it's only about 10 centimeters, let's say, wide or deep. Very, very compact. And the surprising factor is that even though it's so small, it can still surprise you with whatever it is that's packed inside. Because in the 10th generation, we already have the 10700 paired up with RTX 3060 Super. So let's see what next generation is going to be all about. So as you can already conclude, with this kind of setup and specifications, you can game really comfortably. Even nowadays with AAA title games, of course, depending on what kind of quality you want to play it at and at what resolution. But this kind of, let's say, mid-range performing gaming desktops is really for those of you that prefer to have this mobility to go with it wherever you want and not really worry about the weight, the size, and still lacking the gaming power. So that's what this is all about. As you can see, I can easily play around with this with one wrist, no problem. Oh, yeah, okay. So this one is going down as well.
Snoozer is asking on YouTube chat, will the RTX 3060 Ti fit inside the MSI Infinite S? That very much depends on which version of the RTX 3060 Ti it is.
If you're talking about the 3060 Ti Ventus 2X OCV1, then, or the OCV version, then yes. If you're talking about the 3060 Ti regular Ventus 2X version, then no, because that one's too thick. So that's where
make sure it's a 2-slot cooler, then it will fit the Infinite S.
All right.
In terms of thickness, of course, you still have a maximum in length as well. I'm not sure if the 3X will fit, because I believe the Ventus 3X is a dual-slot car, but it's very long.
The 3X will not fit.
Yeah. So if you take the dual-slot version of the Ventus 2X, then yes, then it will fit.
All right, so here we have another big boy, which is quite bigger than the ones before, because those were all kind of our small form factor gaming desktops, still packing all the power that you might need. And now we're moving towards the regular mid-tower size gaming desktops. So here we have the Infinite X. Now, again, just like with the Trident series, the Infinite series, this one comes with the the Infinite X, which is this one right here. It also comes with Trident. Well, I keep saying Trident, it's because I just talked about Trident so much. So this one is the Infinite X, and it also comes with the regular Infinite 10th. And also the Infinite S, which you have already seen. So this one is really if you want a mid-tower size gaming desktop and you simply want the highest gaming performance with 10900K and 3080. This is what you're going to go for. And if you want to have some more budget-friendly or a more entry/mid-level performing desktop, you can go for the Infinite 10th, so the no X. Physically, it looks the same, except for with the Infinite 10th, there's no tempered glass. So with that one, you will have a solid side panel, which is metal, the same color and material as the rest. That's the only biggest physical difference. Specification-wise, of course, that's going to be lower. So there you can go up to a 10700 together with a 3060 Ti.
Bro Turtle is asking, is it okay to use one gaming PC for both streaming and gaming?
That depends. That depends on what kind of quality you're streaming, and it depends on what specifications does that PC have. Does it have enough cores to do the workload? Does it have enough GPU power to do the stream, and while you're also gaming at the same time?
Yeah, you can definitely do it, but
yeah,
pick your system carefully if you do that. For example, if you're going to do encoding on your CPU, then make sure it's a very powerful CPU if you also want to game on it. Or pick, for example, if you have a 2000 or 3000 series RTX graphics card, but also the GTX 1600 series or 1650 Ti, for example, they all have the new NVENC from NVIDIA. That's a very powerful encoder on the GPU, and it's a dedicated chip, so it will not take any power from your GPU itself, but it will do the encoding on the graphics card. So that way you can still stream in high quality and get very good gaming performance simultaneously. But if you're going to do that, make sure your PC is up to the task. And then yes, you can game and stream on one PC, definitely.
All right, so going into a little bit more details. How does the Infinite X look like?
Before we do that, FMetal2 on Twitch is a very good suggestion. Time for another giveaway.
FMetal. Oh, I like you, because sometimes we really do need some help from you guys to keep us in check, because sometimes we just forget about the time, because 5 o'clock, it seems about right. So let's go.
Seems time for a giveaway. So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, the bot will also put a link in chat once every now and then. I will also put it in there manually right now. That will bring you to our Gleam page. On our Gleam page, you can perform multiple actions. The more actions you perform, the bigger chance you will have to win. As of recently, we also have our loyalty program. So if you have visited our live stream before and participated in a giveaway, make sure to claim your extra points in the giveaway to have a bigger chance to win. And then we have our next winner for today. Again, a very complicated name. Ciaran Kearney. I'm sorry for totally mispronouncing your name, but congratulations. Yeah. You also won a game code for Watch Dogs Legion. Keep an eye out on your mailbox, because we will email the game code as well as some instructions how to claim it to you in the coming days.
Yeah, you guys usually really don't make it easy for us to pronounce the username. That's quite hard.
It's like they put up the most difficult nicknames possible also.
I see somebody was asking on YouTube, does the X mean that's your best product? Yes, in the specific product line, if you see an X behind the product name, it means that one is the best.
X is basically the most extreme option
so
out
the
there.
Trident X, you have Trident AS, or you have the Trident 3, or you have Trident X. So yes, indeed, the X will mean it's the best in that lineup. Same for
Washi is paying
Infinite.
attention on YouTube. Washi is saying, is that 120 millimeter core liquid? Good eyes, good eyes.
Yeah, one of the early versions also. All right. So if there's any questions that I can pick out, maybe. All right, I'll leave that to Michiel then. So
I see Lucas is asking, will the support page be updated and say which graphics cards are compatible with certain desktops? I don't think we're doing that right now, but I think it's a very good suggestion. So that's definitely something we will look into.
Yeah, because usually when we do this kind of stuff, we will either do this on our blog or just put out a press release with related topic. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out on our blog. You can find it on our website, msi.com. Otherwise, keep out to any news. We might do something like that. Not sure. Okay, so then if you take a look inside the Infinite X, so again with the Infinite X or the regular Infinite 10th, size-wise they're the same, aesthetics-wise they're the same. Internally they also more or less look the same, except for the different components, of course, because they have different specifications. So everything you see here that I talk about is also applicable for the Infinite 10th, the regular one, except for the specific component, because they do differ. All right, there's one thing you're going to notice, and this is that they're missing memory slots. Well, actually, that's correct because the memory cards were taken out for another project.
Well, the slots are there, but the
Yes,
modules
the
are
modules are gone. So my precious Infinite X was the victim of this theft. So that's why they're missing the memory sticks. All right, guys. And indeed, somebody already noticed the core liquid right here. So here, indeed, okay, I can't really see what I'm doing. I have to be like this. So here too, you can also turn it. Let me show you, just like with our regular core liquids, the 240, 360s. So this one, yeah, you can also turn. So yeah, Infinite X, one of the few gaming desktops within our ranges that's being water cooled by our
Hussein
all-in-one.
Hani is saying on Twitch chat, hashtag blame Eric. Did he steal your memory modules?
I take that. So yeah, here the 10900K is being water cooled with our all-in-one solution. So of course without dual channel right here, but the sticks are missing right now, so don't pay attention to that. Okay, yes, it's okay. Yeah. Furthermore, of course, the BV RTX 3080 right here. And this one, of course, if you don't want the highest setup, you can also go for this 3070 version or the 3060 Ti version. If you want to exchange your GPU, of course, you can just take it out, whatever you want, however you want to do it. But what I want to say is that you also have the opportunity to use the vertical integrated option with this. So here you can install the extended PCIe slot. Of course, then you got to make sure that it's not going to be a 3-slot GPU, because then, well, the side panel cannot close unless you're going to use the extended, well, how should I call this? Like the thumb screw setup thing, because this one right now is the standard one, but the Infinite also comes with an extension of this part, so you can tie it on another one of the same size, so it'll become longer. And then you'll have the opportunity to install a thicker GPU vertically if you want to. But then you'll have quite some difference, distance between your side panel and your chassis. So yeah, if you have a particularly dusty environment, your PC is going to suck up dust quite often, quite fast. So I wouldn't recommend that, but you have the opportunity to do so. All right. Yeah. So furthermore, there. Well, we have one more LED strip on the top side, and this one, of course, is also RGB enabled.
Reese Milanos is asking on YouTube chat: is it a 140 or 120 millimeter radiator?
It's a 120. Yeah. Furthermore, on this side, there isn't too much that I can talk about, except for we have, of course, the M.2 implementations that you can also make use of. Yeah, quite speaks for itself, this setup. And
Snoostern is asking on YouTube chat: is it possible to upgrade the CPU on the MSI Infinite S?
Yes, you can, but you gotta make sure that that CPU is, first of all, compatible with the platform itself, and also it doesn't go beyond the power limit of the PSU. So yeah, you can definitely.
Also, yeah, it depends very much on also what graphics card you're using. Yeah, if you're using a power-hungry CPU and a power-hungry graphics card, then you might need to upgrade your power supply.
Yeah, so we just saw the backside also. Then if we turn it to, wait, let me unscrew this side. So I'm gonna ask you guys something, and I wonder who knows this, but there's actually quite a big change internally with the Infinite X, or the compared to the last generation. So the 10th generation with the RTX refresh, it looks quite different from the inside than the 10th generation even without the RTX 3080. So I wonder if you guys can spot what it is. So let me know in the chat.
Anime Prime Lord is asking, how do you enter the giveaway? The link the bot sends just brings me back to the page where I can watch the stream. It should be directly to our giveaway, but I will also manually post it right now. It's a Gleam link, and that will directly put you into the giveaway on Gleam. Let me see. Surik Gosh is asking on YouTube chat, is it addressable RGB? So can it do multiple colors at the same time?
Yes. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I wasn't really listening, but yes. I see someone is saying DJ Yai. My Infinite X has the vertically integrated GPU, and this one is not. Well, correct, because that is actually the big difference here. Well done, well spot. But okay, if you want to know why, and that's because the RTX30 GPUs are really thick. So it became more practical inside this with the setup to have it installed horizontally. Okay, yeah, quite some people who saying also correct answer. Good call. All right, here we have the backside of the motherboard. We have here a few more slots for you to install the 2.5-inch SSDs, or yeah, I don't suppose you're still using hard drives, so let's keep it as SSDs. And here, of course, we have all the extra connectors and cables in case you need them. There's also where you also tuck them away. This side, yeah, it's a little bit boring, but it's really clean. So as you can see, we have here all the customized cable management clips to hide the cables and make sure they're not in the way. So yeah, all in all, just a clean backside. Turn this back on.
Kevin Cracker is asking why they removed the CD or DVD drive. Well, we didn't remove it. It was never there because, yeah, CDs and DVDs and even Blu-rays are getting less and less common. So that's why our current desktops don't have any optical drives anymore.
Yeah, I think I understand what he asking, or he is asking, because we kind of did used to have it in our older models. That's used to be this part in front. But as you can imagine, with time, there's you know, less and less demand for it. There's less and less people that use it. So there wasn't really the need to put it in anymore to, you know, save space and, yeah, make better use of it. But of course, if you want, I guess you can still install it yourself. You always have the option.
Max Bunny is saying on Twitch chat, I didn't understand why CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays were removed until I upgraded to gigabit internet. Yeah, that's the main thing. Internet is getting better and better. And also the content that is available, for example, like movies or series, are mostly available through streaming services nowadays. So most people that are watching movies, they don't buy the DVD anymore or the Blu-ray, but they watch it through the different streaming services.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, etc., etc.
Don't be a pirate, guys. Just pay for the streaming services. That's the right thing to do.
Or you can buy the DVD or Blu-ray, but then you will need a separate drive for that, for example, a USB drive. So no optical drive inside these desktops.
All right, we can go back to the other view and just to make sure, because you know we kind of produce and sell the high-end gaming desktop, and we also make sure that if you are enjoying LAN parties, because most gamers, well, still kind of do enjoy LAN parties, we have the handle, so you can carry this around more easily, or when you're moving around, or you know, you're upgrading your house, you're generally moving. This also makes it easier to carry the PC around, so you don't have to use 2 arms to grab it. So all in all, the Infinite X, if you want a mid-tower size gaming desktop with the highest performance at this moment, with 10900K and up to RTX3080, this is what you'll be looking at.
Washi is saying on YouTube chat, the pump is in the radiator on the core liquid, I think. Yeah, that's correct. So if we turn it to the back, and then you can see it. You see the small square in the radiator? That's where the pump is located.
Nope.
Yeah, right there. Simon is asking on YouTube chat, is it a good combination to have RTX3060 Ti and the Intel Core i5 9600K on the Z390 Gaming Edge? Yeah, that's definitely a good combination. 9600K is still fairly good CPU. I think it's a good combination with the 3060 Ti. Of course, depends very much on your usage, but for gaming, I think that's a very decent combination.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Let's go back to the other view.
Yes.
Lucky was looking great in the reflection of the tempered glass. All right. So if you guys have any more questions regarding this, fire them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to put this onto the table, and then I already read some guys saying Ti5, Ti5. Indeed, the Ti5 is the next one. So then I'm gonna exchange the big boys.
Francesco is asking, when is the 3060 Ti with 2 fans from the gaming series coming out? I'm not entirely sure about that. We'll have to double check that.
Yeah, we'll have to double check with Peter.
He knows more about that. So there are already 2 fan versions available, but those are the Ventus series. But not sure about the gaming one. Anime Prime Lord is asking, what were the 2 vertical expansion bays for? Those are for the vertical mount for the graphics card.
Yeah.
So with a riser, you can then vertically put in the graphics card.
Well, Simon's really grateful, Michiel.
Very good, very good. I hope it helped.
Okay, so this one is going down as well, and now the big boy. So as you can see here, another handle.
Looks slightly different than the rest.
I feel like a Rambo for a moment. The Ti5. Let's give you a look and feel of what it's like when it's on. Because unlike the previous one, this one has its full internals and organs still in place.
The King361 is asking on Twitch, can I get the giveaway link? I just put it in the chat for you. And otherwise, you can always go to msi.com/2/insider. There you will also find a link.
Just to start off, here we have 2 handles for you to hang your headsets with. You can also kind of look at this like it's airs, right?
It doesn't mean we expect you to use 2 headsets, by the way, but it's if you use your PC on the left or on the right, you can decide on which side you want to hang your headset. But if you want to use 2 headsets, that's fine as well. I just couldn't imagine how you would use them simultaneously.
Astros Re is saying it looks like it's straight out of Cyberpunk. No. Cyberpunk came straight out of this. It's the way around.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, let us know what you think of the design, first of all, because that's like the first thing that really pops off here, right? Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to show you the outside. So the side, you see here, there's like a big wheel, because here. The design base or the idea behind this was like a moving object, like a futuristic motorcycle, and this one is going to operate as its wheel. But I know some people, whenever they see this, they're going to ask, oh, is this tiltable? No, it's not. This one is fixed, so you cannot tilt this part because this one looks round. But it is fully RGB enabled, works with the rest of the system, so also Mystic Light, and you can choose this. Well, you can change the effect in Dragon Center. I will just show you this in a bit. And you can already see something sticking out here. I'm gonna pop this up open, of course, also for you guys. And let me just get straight to it, because a lot of people were just curious and wondering about this part. Let me make this a little bit higher. What is this? What is this?
It's a very happy Lucky.
This is our most innovative feature yet. So like I said earlier, with the Aegis Ti5, this is really where we try to be daring and more innovative and give you guys more features to enjoy, just to make your lives easier and more convenient. This is the gaming dial or the gaming knob, and you can turn it either way, left or right, and you can click it.
CJ Bale is saying on Twitch, no, he's trapped in a washing machine.
Okay, so right now there are like 5 features in here that you can choose from, like shortcut. If you click it, I'm not sure if you can see this, but this is Horizon, the icon of Horizon Zero Dawn. And what is this, guys? What is this? You should know this, because I'm gonna play this later. Watch Dogs Legion. So right now I just have these 2 shortcuts installed. If you click on it, it will start the game automatically without you even having to touch a mouse or keyboard. Now, if you go to monitor, you can click this, then the display will just, when it's idle, display all the functions, or well, the information that you have chosen beforehand in the software. So CPU usage, GPU usage, or temperature, fan speed, stuff like that. That's going to be on here constantly. And this is like really the benefit of the human-machine interface. Now, next, what else do we have here? You can adjust your volume. You can choose your scenario, like basically sort of like the power plant. You can go for silent, you can go for balanced, or you can go for extreme performance. That's what they stand for. And if you click and hold this, you will just well, go back. And Mystic Light. So you can only like implement 5 features at the same time. Maybe later our engineers will work on this even more and make sure that this limit goes even higher. But right now, you can choose 5 features to be displayed on here. For now, the last one is Mystic Light. So if I, for example, choose breathing, you can see it changes up right away. In the software, you have many more options to choose from. So default, let me change it back to default. So this is the gaming knob, really being the heart of the gaming desktop here, just like it's designed. When idle, you can see right now, Lucky is just being Lucky, a little chubby, happy red dragon. And you can customize this yourself. So you can upload your own customized GIFs if you want to within the software. Ta-da! Convenience at your best. All right, now let me power this off so I can tear him open.
I see people in chat are quite excited about the gaming knob. I also think it's really cool. I also really like the fact that you can customize it.
All right, guys.
Cool
yeah, let us know what you think. Your opinions or feedback are also welcome, so don't hold back. I also saw somebody saying they didn't really like the design. That's fine. I mean, some do like this kind of design, some don't. So don't worry, just let us know.
Yeah, it's very dependent on the person. It is, of course, quite an extreme design. So, of course, not everyone will like it. But that's also why we have different models, so you got something to choose from.
Exactly. There's a choice for everyone. So let's start with this side. Now, when you open this up, you got to be careful not to drop the panel because the side panel RGB LED strips are connected here to the motherboard via this cable, well, to the power connector. So if you want to take this off, of course, make sure you disconnect the power cord here. This is a quite thick side panel. It blocks a lot of noise, and on the inside you have this metal plate that is cut out with the breathing room with filter implemented on the other side for the backside of, well, the PC. And here we also have an extra cooling for the backplate of the VRM on your motherboard.
Damp381 is saying the foot doesn't look very stable, I think. Well, it's actually a full metal.
Very, very stable
it's
metal
quite,
one.
Yeah, it's really hefty, actually.
Well, I think I know what you mean, because sometimes I do this, I bump the table and it kind of moves, but that's not because this one is not stable, that's because the table is really, yeah, everything moves on the table. Yeah, the table is really wiggly.
But it's a full, the foot is completely made out of metal. It feels really sturdy.
Yeah, so here we have the addressable RGB panel where many of the power connectors and connectors are already pre-installed. You have one place for one more here. Two more 2.5-inch SSD slots that you can use, well, base, to do some upgrade in your storage. And on the back side, on the motherboard here, we also have a special countout in the on the side panel, internal panel here, for you to upgrade your M.2 very easily. So you can take this one out and just put in a new one if you feel like this one is not too, well, not enough anymore. This side is, yeah, quite neatly put together because all the cables are being very well hidden on this part. And the rest, there really isn't much to see. Just a clean backside with extra cooling for the backside of the motherboard and VRM. Now, if we go to the other side, that's really where you're gonna be like, that's some design you don't see every day, right? Same case, there's a cord for the side panel RGB, so don't break this. As well as I mentioned, that whenever I bump the table, the cam that you're looking through right now also moves quite a lot. So you see? So this also makes it look like the PC is really going up and down, but it's more or less the camera itself. So, all right. Now, we have this side, which is a lot more interesting. Here we have the GPU resting in its own chamber with a lot of breathing room. Here we have the radiator, the 240 millimeter core liquid radiator for the CPU. So this is where the air will come out. And there's also the cutout in the side panel where all the excessive heat is going to be dissipated. Let me open this up and you can see more clearly what's inside.
In the meanwhile, I see F Metal 2 has got a very good suggestion again.
Suggestion.
Time for another
we
giveaway.
Like that. He is on fire.
Time for our next winner. So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. Our bot will also put it in the YouTube and Twitch chat once every 5 or 6 minutes or something. I will also put it in the chat manually right now. So if you're on YouTube and Twitch, you should be able to access it through that link directly as well. There you will go to our Gleam page. You can perform several actions there. The more actions you perform, the bigger chance you will have to win. If you're a returning visitor and have participated in a giveaway before, make sure also to claim your loyalty points to have a bigger chance to win. And then we have our next winner for today. Oh, I like this nickname. Congratulations, Frosty.
Frosty.
Frosty. And it's one I can pronounce.
Yeah, that's why you're so happy.
Yeah. And I like the song Frosty the Snowman. It's a good song. Congratulations, you also won a game code for Watch Dogs Legion. Please keep an eye out on your mailbox because we will email the code to you in the coming days, including instructions on how to claim it.
Have fun already.
So let's get back to just teardown of the Aegis Ti5.
Okay, so here you can see quite a different design than your average gaming desktop. Here we have the radiator together with the tray where it's like being installed, and this one is quite easily opened up to like this, where you can still have access to the memory slot. Currently 2 installed, and here again we have the Core Liquid CPU cooler, which you can still customize and turn yourself.
Slightly bigger model with
the CPU
2 fans in this situation.
Yeah, well, it kind of looks big, but it's not that big because the motherboard is not a full-size ATX. This is the micro ATX size.
No, I mean the radiator compared to the.
Oh
the
yes, definitely.
Infinite X.
It's more like kind of half of the Infinite X entire body. If you look at it like vertically, like in length, I think this is more or less the entire body. So here really the 10900K has absolutely beastly cooling for air cooling, only one cooling solution, and it's also resting in its own chamber, so it doesn't have the heat that's coming from other hardware like your PSU or your GPU. So this one really having its own air intake and outtake, where it can have the optimal cooling solution for you when you're gaming and pushing the PC to its max. All right, so then if we move up, here is our 3080 Ti, 3080, not Ti. Our RTX 3080 is sitting right here in its own chamber with a lot of room here still for the air intake. And yeah, if you want to upgrade this, as you can see in length, there's still quite some distance left for a much beefier and bigger GPU, so no problem. You have space here, you have space in length, you also have space in width. So this one is definitely, if you in a few years want to upgrade to a bigger GPU, yeah, you definitely have the space for it. You just gotta make sure, like with every upgrade, that it's within your GPU's PSU, the power supply's unit limit. And if not, you can also opt to replace that one. All right, so if you have any questions for this part or the chambers, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to close this up and show you the top part.
I see a question from Ocean Ave on YouTube. Is an ITX board? No, this is a micro ATX board. Slightly smaller than ATX and slightly bigger than mini ITX. Beck is saying another radiator mounted below pump. The pump is inside the radiator. That's the square you will see on the left side now.
All right, close this up. Now,
The pump is not mounted below, by the way. It's on the same height as the block. Approximately.
this is the top, and the RGB will also shine through this part. Here through this part, it's actually transparent, but it's kind of tempered, dark. And you can see right through into the GPU chamber, and also all the RGB glory that comes along with it. And here you can see many cutouts. This is also where the GPU room gets its air from, the air intake. The same for this side.
The Ping channel is asking, can this one fit a Supreme 3080? I think you got quite a lot of clearance in this one.
You have space for it, definitely. So with this model, you don't have issue. And seeing as this one has a lot of metal parts, yeah, you kind of do notice when I try to move around with this, I sometimes need to breathe a little bit differently, heavily. That's because it's a big boy, it's a heavy boy.
Or you need
because
to train
of all the
more.
metal parts. It's December, man. Nobody's gonna train in December. Come on.
Patrick is asking on YouTube chat, what CPU is inside?
10900K.
Yeah, it's a Core i9 Maximus, indeed.
All right, now it's closed properly. All right. Yeah, so now I'm going to show you guys more about like the software, and then you can also see like how you can tune and customize the gaming knob. What more functions out there for you to. Oh, let me turn this around then. So the gaming knob, like what more functions are there? What more can you still do with it? Because right now I just showed you 5 out of all the options. So let me plug this in so I can operate it.
Salim is asking, is this case plastic? It's a combination of metal and plastic. Uber Blue Dragon picked up an MAG Core Liquid 240R on Black Friday. Nice one, nice one. Joshua Hahn is asking if it has USB Type-C on the top.
Yes, it has.
Maybe we can show up
USB
close
Type-C.
what
Let me show you here. Along with 2 more USB Gen 3s. So here we have the Type-C. All right, time to turn it on.
Anime Prime Lord is asking, where is the power supply and can it be upgraded with a new power supply in the future?
Yes, the power supply is here in the foot. So here is where the power supply is.
Inside the ring,
yeah.
Basically.
So it's kind of completely separate from the rest of all the internals.
And what power supply size is it in there?
This one is also the SFX. So if you can find a proper SFX, you can definitely try to open this up and replace it for future upgrades. Now, let me turn on the monitor.
Washi is saying, imagine waking up and seeing the PC staring at you.
I wish I would see this one in my own house. I could see this one.
Maximus Overload is asking on YouTube chat, is it a Tomahawk motherboard? No. Tomahawk is a full ATX motherboard, and this model has a micro ATX motherboard.
Yeah.
So it's a slightly smaller motherboard in here.
And it's actually based on the Unify board, but then slightly customized for this.
It can be Unify. Unify is only ITX and ATX, not micro ATX. I think it's a custom board.
Yeah, custom board. All right, so just need to plug in the DisplayPort cable. And there we go.
Devray is asking, is it an MSI power supply in it? No, we don't have any SFX models right now. I think it's an FSP, not 100% sure.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure it is, because that's also in the Trident X.
Yeah.
All right, it's powered up. Let me show you Dragon Center.
It's Anjo is asking, what is SFX? It's a form factor for power supplies. So you have ATX is the bigger one, then you have SFX, a slightly smaller power supply for small form factor PCs, or for example Aegis Ti5, where you have a very experimental design, and because the power supply is in the foot, you have limited space there. So that's why we're using an SFX power supply for that.
All right. So here we have Dragon Center. Now, without going into too much detail for this, because I think plenty of you already know this, in all of our gaming desktops, you can download Dragon Center, in which you can tune, monitor, and also optimize your gaming desktops very simply by, for example, using the user scenario, and also keep track on live updates. Where you can update your system components, drivers, and also some third-party apps. But what's more important here is showing you Mystic Light and how to tune the gaming knob. Now let's just go to the Mystic Light for the first run. It's very simple. If you want to sync your entire system, because right now I also have the GK50 gaming keyboard here, which is fully RGB enabled, and a GM50 gaming mouse. Now, if I want to sync, well, also the GH50, if I want to sync everything for them to have the same effect, I just simply click on All Sync and then choose a effect, for example, rainbow, and then I'll apply, and then you can also see, I'm not sure with the lighting right now, the softbox
it's slightly
is shining.
visible.
It's, yeah, you can see, yeah, the Aegis Ti5 also changed, and it's doing the same effect as the GM50 and also the GH50.
I see some questions in chat. I'll quickly answer a couple of them. Sorry if I cannot answer all, because there are a little bit too many. Heatane is asking to you, Ja, what notebook do you have in front of you?
Oh, this is actually the Raider 66 GE. No, sorry, the 65 Leopard, not GE.
Liam Moss is asking, can you upgrade the 9th gen Infinite S to a 10th gen? No, there are different sockets, so not compatible. The 10th gen uses LJ1200.
Yeah. It's going to require a lot of work.
Yeah, you can. They're not interchangeable, unfortunately. So no, you cannot. Greggy Boy is asking, does it come with Bluetooth? Yes, definitely does.
Also Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi 6 actually.
Mm-hmm.
Right after this, I'll show you guys all the configuration specification tables between all the models in every series. So a little bit of a summary.
I see Rockdog is asking on Twitch chat if we can have a look inside the PC. Actually, we just did that.
You just missed it.
Yeah, but later on Twitch, you don't have the feature, I believe, that you can go back in time. But if you can watch it back later on YouTube, because we're also broadcasting this live stream on YouTube, and there you can watch the part where we open it up and take a look at the inside as well.
Yes, later we'll do some gaming FPS tests together with some power draws, and the monitor I'm using right now is one of, I think, the best monitor we have right now for the flats, is the 274 QRF QD. QD, which means quantum dot. Very interesting monitor, also highly praised by Hardware Unboxed, and they're very critical.
CZ is asking also how many hertz is it?
165. So
165.
Yeah, give you more, a little bit more benefit than the standard 144.
Yeah. So let's continue.
All right. So yeah, that's Mystic Light. Very simple, intuitive. You can set up everything separately, or you can just all sync and have everything synced, well, to your liking. You can create profiles, so you don't have to change it every time. You can activate the profiles, and if you have NBINC link compatible, I'm not going into details of this right now. I'm just going to briefly tell you what this is. If you have games that have Mystic Light ambient link feature, you can sync with the game and display the in-game colors and events within your entire ecosystem, you know, extending to Philips Hue and Nanoleaf on the wall or your ceiling. And if you don't want to do this, you can just use ambient mode, in which you can display some effects throughout your entire, again, Nanoleaf, Philips Hue, and third party that's compatible. Yeah, have some fun with that. And here's where you set this up, Nanoleaf and Philips Hue. So that's the entire Mystic Light section. Not complicated, very easy to use if you want to try it out, if you're new to it. Now, if you want to tune the gaming knob, that's where it's more interesting. You go to gaming gear, and there you can see there's a tab called Aegis Ti5, and here is really where you tune everything. Right now, we have Mystic Light, shortcuts, monitor, volume adjustment, and user scenario selected. If you want to select something else, just unselect one of these. For example, you want to select game mode. Sorry, throat is a little bit itchy. Yeah, you can deselect this, or you go to music switch, so you can switch between your music and pause and continue with the gaming knob. So let's switch some around. So for example, I don't want monitor, I want free up memory. I don't want volume adjustment, I want gaming mode. So this is for the features that's going to be displayed here. Now, in more details, per feature, where possible, here is where you can select, for example, in Mystic Light sync, you can select which ones are going to be displayed as options within the Mystic Light feature on the knob. So you can select, for example, this one's CPU temperature, visor, stack. I'm just randomly clicking on something, and then when you're satisfied, you can click on apply. Oh, let me show you apply here. And then that's it. For shortcut, for example, here I have Horizon Zero Dawn and Watchdog Legion selected right now, but if you want to add more games, you can. But important notice, you cannot add shortcuts. So you have to use the original X file. So you have to look up where the game is installed, you know, your C drive or something, and then look up the original file and then select that one as the execution file. And then you just select open, and voila, it's displayed here. And as for the last one that you can customize, which is what information do you want to monitor when you select monitor. CPU frequency, temperature, memory frequency, clock, GPU clock, and usage, you know, even weather forecast. A lot of stuff here that you can chew around with. And after everything is done, you click once again on apply. Or you can here upload your own anima or your GIF that's going to be displayed here when it's on idle. Now I'm going to click on apply because I've made some quite some changes, and now I'm going to show you in the detail cam, for example, how everything works, or well, what additional settings have I chosen. Now click, and then you have the options. Mystic Light. If I select Mystic Light, there are now more options available than before because I've selected quite a few more options, like CPU temperature or flashing and stuff like that. So if once you click this, everything is going to change. Now just go back, you hold this. Shortcuts. Now I can show you, for example, if I click on Watchdog Legion, and then I'm gonna click it, and then I'm gonna show. Oh, okay. Wait. Let me start something and then show you properly. Oh, because I can't show you like this or just via capture option, but it's the same. I'm just trying to show you what it does. So now, for example, you see without doing anything, it has just started the game automatically. So that's what it's about. Now, if we go back, to the knob, let's see what else did we choose. Gaming mode. Let's see what this is about. You can go on and off. This means that when you're in gaming mode, Dragon Center will make sure that you will optimize your PC so that you'll squeeze out every little power that your PC and hardware has to offer for the games that you're playing. So on and off. Music switch. So here is, for example, where you pause and continue the music and skip and go to the previous ones. Really handy if you don't have like a multimedia feature on your keyboard, or you don't want to use FN plus some other keys every time you want to change. Yeah, now you can just use this one to play around. Free up memory, you click it and it will automatically look for some memories there.
Idle programs and stuff,
programs
stuff that you're not using at the moment, but it's still sitting in your memory.
So everything really working very swiftly.
See a few questions in chat. Navis is asking, does it have DDR5 RAM? No, it's DDR4. Simon's asking, why have you gone for this case design? To try something new, something experimental.
Yeah, actually, if you're interested in that, you should look up our playlist on YouTube. So MSI Insider, and then you can look up Aegis Ti5. There, we actually invited the person who designed this PC, and he shared all his ideas and aspirations and how they came to this. Yeah, you can definitely check that out if you're interested. Okay, so
someone's asking, where's Eric today? He's working from home right now, I think.
Yeah, staying safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's the gaming up the demonstration. Yeah, if you guys have more questions about this, fire a will. Otherwise, I'm going to now dive into some summary tables with the key specifications, just for you guys to have an overview between all the differences between the models within the lineups. All right, so then we are gonna move on.
Is it working, your capture?
Yeah, this is always the problem because I have the PowerPoint already opened, but it always needs a refresh or something when you haven't been to that layer. So if you go there again, I think now it's... Yeah, I think it's showing now. Yeah, it's working now.
There we go.
There's always some delay. Okay, so for the Aegis Ti5 right now, this is the only model in the MEG Aegis lineup within this generation. So no different lineups or different models or SKUs within this series. Yeah, so with the Aegis Ti5, what can you expect with the CPU up to 10900K, and then with our own MSI all-in-one water cooling, and for the GPU up to RTX3080. Well, I'm not going to read everything up because you can also read. So yeah, like I said earlier, also including Wi-Fi 6, and in this one a dual LAN, so a 2.5G LAN and also a 1G LAN. And yeah, if you really want the best of the best and newest of the newest with the best features and newest features, this is what you're looking at. Not the Infinite Series, not the Trident Series, but the Aegis, the Ti5. Now, if we go to the Infinite Series, we have quite a few models in there. First of all, we have the small form factor gaming desktop in the Infinite Series, which is the Infinite S. I've shown all these models earlier, except for the Infinite 10th, because it's the same as the X, except for the tempered glass and the specifications, but it looks the same. So yeah, the Infinite 10th and S actually share the same features and specifications, but the only difference being, if you prefer a mid-tower size, you go for the Infinite 10th. If you prefer a small form factor size, if you like to carry it around, you want to play on the streets, who knows, you can do so, and you can choose for, you can go for the Infinite S. Now, they both come with up to a 10700, so the non-K version, and with GPU up to a 3060 Ti. Well, the rest, I'm going to leave it up to you to read. So all the models are also with Wi-Fi and a 1G LAN, except for, well, the Infinite X is going to look quite different between these two. So this one is really within the Infinite series, the mid-tower size. If you don't want, like for example, a gaming knob and some daring, innovative designs, you go for the Infinite X with the tempered glass and all the RGB inside and water cooling. So here also you have the highest specifications set up with 10900K and RTX3080. Yeah, and the rest you can also just briefly go through it. I can give you a few seconds, and now I'm going to maybe look at the chat to see if I have anything to ask that I can't answer right now. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to Trident.
Edwin K is asking, what's the memory speed?
Well, on the Infinite X series, it's 2,999.
933, I believe.
33, yeah. And on the other two, it's 2,666. Inferno is still watching. Well, it's 1 a.m. now.
Ooh.
I appreciate that. We certainly do. That's what we need to have. Hang on, we're almost there. All right then, I'm not gonna keep this up very much longer then. Let's move on to the Tridents. So with the Trident, we have right now with the RTX30 Refresh 3 models that you can choose from: the Trident X, the Trident A, or the Trident AS. Now, the main difference between the Trident A or the AS is that the AS has full RGB and tempered glass. So it looks a bit more fancy, and of course the RGB also gives you many more FPS to play around with. That's all. Now, the Trident X is really, for example, if you want the highest performing gaming feature or a gaming desktop, this is what you go for within the Trident series, where you also have the highest mobility within this lineup. So the biggest difference here again is the 10700 for the Trident A and AS, and then 10900K for the Trident X. RTX 3080 versus 3070, and also you have more memory for the Trident X. Yeah.
Anime Prime Lord's asking, what's the motherboard in the Trident 3 for the i5 and GTX 1650 version? I cannot find it anywhere in the specs or BIOS. That's because it's a custom motherboard.
Yeah.
Trident 3 is a really small one, and because the motherboard and the graphics card are actually next to each other, it has an angled PCI Express slot, so the graphics card can directly slot into the motherboard without the need for a riser or anything. That's why you cannot find any model name, because it doesn't have a specific model name. It's really a custom design model specifically for the Trident 3.
Yeah, and generally as a tip for you guys, if you look around for this kind of information, we generally do not post what kind of motherboard is being used within our gaming desktop, because majority of the time, 99%, they're all customized. So we just put down the chipset. All right.
Yeah, so it's not one you can buy separately that has a name.
If you guys have any questions for the Trident series, still drop them in the chat. I'll give it a few moments to see if you have anything to ask. Keen to saying one more gift before sleep. I think you can work that out with Michiel. That should be fine.
Okay, then I'll just interrupt you to do another giveaway.
Yeah, because I finished
so
all the specifications anyways.
Yeah, go to amazon.com/2/insider or follow the link in YouTube or Twitch chat. I will post it manually now, but also every 5 or 6 minutes, the bot will also put it in chat over there. It will redirect you to Gleam, where you can perform certain actions. The more actions you perform, the bigger chance you will have to win. And if you're a returning visitor and have participated in more live stream giveaways, then you can now also claim your loyalty bonus to have an even bigger chance to win one of the Watch Dogs Legion game codes. And let me draw our next winner for today. Thinking very deeply.
Dusan is asking, do we plan to release Trident Series in white? Well, actually, the only ones that we have in white right now is the Trident S in black and white. As for the rest, we don't have any plans for now, but I cannot speak for the future, so I am afraid you have to keep an eye out for that. So.
We have our next winner,
which is
nickname Seto. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. SETO. Congratulations. You also won a game code for Watch Dogs Legion. Keep your eye out on your mailbox because we will email you the code in the coming days with instructions on how to claim the game.
All right.
And enjoy it, of course.
Hope you enjoy. Okay, then I'm going to continue to, well, guys, this is the part where we say goodbye to the hardware and welcome the game. Now, before we get started with the game itself, with the gameplays and the live performance, I'm just going to briefly go through, what kind of, if you're interested in this game, since we're also giving away the game keys, what can you expect with, nowadays with the latest hardware and the FPS. So, at Full HD median, what can you get? So what you want to reach is 60 FPS. So here you can see that with an RTX 2060 you can already get around pretty fine when average having like a 100 plus FPS. But again, this is 1080p and medium settings. Now if we go to, for example, 1080p and Ultra, then it's going to look quite differently. So again, like with the 2060, as you can see, it's more than halved the performance. So instead of 100 plus, you now have 47. So yeah, as you can see with this game, you can tune around quite a lot to have quite a big difference, as this is actually what this really suggests. So preferably here you will need to have a RTX 2060 Super, but then you need to, when you're using ray tracing, also include DLSS in order to have 60 plus FPS. And with everything just turned off, no ray tracing, with the 2060 Super, you can also get around with 60 plus FPS. So it's not the easiest game, but we knew that already with such an open world and heavy NPC game with such a long draw distance. That was kind of to be expected. But Ubisoft keeps working on this, so maybe there's going to be even more improvement in the future. Now, going to 1440p medium, it already looks quite different. On average, if you have like a 2060, so instead of like 1080p 100, you will now have 70 plus. And if we go to 1440p Ultra, things are really starting to look like you need some better hardware, boy. Because with 5600 XT, for example, or 2060 Super, you now have around 46, 48 FPS on average. So yeah, if you want to have 60 plus, you're going to need a 2080 Super, or yeah, 2080 Super at least. There you will have approximately 60 plus FPS. Yeah, if you're even considering 4K, that's also possible with the latest hardware. That's definitely doable. Now here, if you have a 2080 Super on medium settings, you can get around with 60 plus. If you want to have an Ultra, now you're really talking about best of the best. Yeah, you're going to need quite some firepower and RTX 3090 to start with to have a 60 plus FPS on average. But
some people are asking, where is 3060 Ti? Well, when Tom's Hardware did these benchmarks with Watch Dogs Legion, that was not out yet, so that's why it's missing, and also why, for example, the new AMD cards are not included.
But if you have kept kept around the kept track of the news, you can expect that the 3060 Ti is going to perform somewhere near the 2080 Super. So that's like the area they should look at. Yeah, around 20,
indeed. 2080 Super in between.
All right, so now we have the average performance kind of on paper. We can finally dive into our live demonstration of what the Aegis Ti5 can push out with the 10900K and 3080. So let's go see. Put this down. Now, since I'm kind of talking with Michiel over the call, I'm not going to use the headphones, so don't be weirded out like, whoa, why is he playing games but not wearing the headphone while it's on table? So
then you cannot hear me anymore.
So I'm gonna be overwhelmed with the game sound. Okay.
But you guys should be able to hear the in-game sound. I see some people talking about Cyberpunk already.
Cyberpunk. Maybe we can say something about that in like 30 minutes, Michiel?
Yeah. If you're interested in Cyberpunk,
stick around a little bit more.
Stick around a little bit more.
Okay, the game is starting. Any other guys who have already played this game? Because we kind of suck quite badly at this game. So any tips are welcome. I played Cyberpunk on my 1060, lol. Yeah, that's that's a hard pill to swallow.
It works, but it gets more and more tricky.
I guess it all depends on, you know, what are your expectations from the game? What do you want to see? What do you want to experience? Okay, so on the right upper corner, you can see I have put down the GPU performance, well, more like the temperature, the usage, and then the speed, and also the power draw, and the same for the CPU. So if you're interested in these kind of stats, just keep an eye out on the right upper corner. So
Ace of Thorn is asking on Twitch, is it possible to test out Destiny 2? No, unfortunately, we don't have Destiny 2 prepared. Also, as Duo Maxwell is already saying as well, it's not a very demanding game. And because it's quite high-end hardware, we decided to go with a more demanding title. So that's why today we're playing Watch Dogs Legion.
Well, Merrick, I appreciate you saying rare for me to ask for gaming tips. Well, I must admit that I'm more a competitive gaming type of guy. I do play some AAA title games, you know, but I'm more like the Resident Evil type of fans. But yeah, even with our job, it's quite difficult to keep up with all the games coming out.
And especially in this,
really good
this time of the year. Like before Christmas, it's always so many new games are being released.
Okay, so of course this is always the first thing to do, right guys? So right now I'm playing on 1080p, and after this I'll also show you the live performances and all the details regarding 1440p. If we take a look at quality, it's basically maxed out. So basically everything is on ultra except for some minor stuff here and there. For example, here headlight for shadows, only 2 cars instead of 4. Really not gonna matter much at all, because we're playing during daytime anyways now. For the rest, everything's on. I really hate motion blur, so I turned this off. Bloom, I really dislike the bloom effect. I also turned this off. For example, the rest, yeah, all on the ultra and stuff. The DLSS is unbalanced, so sitting in between performance and quality. And ray tracing, it's on ultra. All right, so with this in mind, let's see how the game runs. I don't like her equal rights, so let's have some fight. Oh, that was easy. Hijack a taxi. All right, so 80 FPS, 75, so between 70 and 80 with 1080p and ray tracing set to ultra. The DLSS all balanced. So like I said earlier, you know, with Watch Dogs Legion, this game already looks quite good, very detailed, with this very, very long draw distance and a massive open world with so many interactive NPCs. Yeah, you can expect that this is going to be quite heavy on your hardware, but yeah, that's this type of game. So
Devin Liu is asking on YouTube, is building a PC easy? Depends on if you have experience and if you're good with technology in general, but I would say it's definitely doable. In the past, we've also done several live streams where we build a PC. You can find many tips and tricks in those. So make sure to check them out to see what kind of steps you have to take to build a PC. But I wouldn't say it's hard. I see some other questions.
What's your problem, dude?
VG says he hates the blur effect plus rep.
Yeah, thank you.
I totally agree. Motion blur.
Why is everybody shooting at me? Jesus.
Geezercraft's asking, I had to eat for 20 minutes. If I want something, do I still get it? All the winners will get an email, so definitely.
Yeah, in the coming days.
You ready? Always on standby. Let's do it.
Kevin Cracker is asking, is this ultra settings? Yes. Yes.
Yes, at ray tracing set to max. All right.
Max Bunny is saying on Twitch, you drive like my mom. I don't know how well your mom drives, so I'm not sure if that's a compliment to Ja or not.
I'm just gonna take it as a compliment, and otherwise I'll take it as
Let's just assume your mom is a really good driver.
Yeah, but then again, this is London, right? I'm used to right-hand driving, so yeah, don't blame me if I'm like crashing everyone on the left side, or on the right side, I mean. Now, what I really like about this game is it gives you this feeling like, it's weird, but it kind of reminisces like Pokemon for me. Like you're walking around, you're just kind of looking for the strong Pokemon, you know, with the best stats. Because here, you walk around, you're supposed to,
throw a Pokeball, do it.
I wish. Maybe in the mod, a new mod version I can. So yeah, you're gonna scout for people and see, you know, who has the best skills, and that's going to fit your playstyle and your crew, so you can recruit it. And the good thing is that it's not just gonna be like you see anyone, you're just gonna be, okay, I want that person, and it's done. If you want someone, you're gonna have to save it to your recruits, and every person is going to have a specific mission for you to complete in order for you to get that person in your crew that you can also later use. And yeah, it's a massive, massive, massive world. So yeah, thousands of NPCs, and sometimes it's really funny, like what they're saying. Like this one is saying, like her characteristics or info, I guess, is stole antique rifles from British Museum. I think the Ubisoft development team had quite some time just making all the characteristics of all the NPCs around here. Yeah, like this one. Ooh, he's an actor with 21K followers on social media. I'm impressed. But yeah. Okay, so we're turning into night. This game particularly looks really good at nighttime with all the lightings. Okay, so we have been swiveling around 70 and 80 FPS, occasionally dropping to 60 something. So let's see what happens if I get rid of ray tracing.
That was indeed a question from It's Angel on Twitch, and we see RTX on and off. Yeah, of course we can. Mr. J is asking MEG Infinite S with RTX 3060. There is an Infinite S with the RTX 3060 Ti, but currently we're using the Aegis Ti5. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time today to demonstrate every single desktop that we've shown today. Kayla and Jim Bryan's asking, do you have to be here, or are the winners informed by email need to leave? They will be informed by email, and if you want to watch the rest of the stream later on, yeah, you will be able to find it on YouTube as well, so you can watch it on demand on a time that suits you better.
Ooh, with a pink suit, this guy looks interesting. Low mobility. All right. All right, let's go to the London Eye. So yeah, I have turned off ray tracing and DLSS, and it's kind of giving me a FPS boost between 10 and 20 FPS. Well, I think on average 10, because we were swiveling around 70 and 80, and after turning ray tracing off, we have been going up and down about 80 and sometimes hitting 90 like now. Ooh, that's still quite far.
Devin Lewis asking, can someone link the MSI Twitch? It's simply twitch.tv/MSI Gaming. Ilyas is asking, which graphics card is this? This is the RTX 3080.
They are driving on the wrong side of the road. It's not me. It's them. I'm trying to get to the London Eye, but seems like there's going to be quite a drive around.
Nahid is saying DLSS 2.0
right,
is actually amazing. Yeah, I also think it's really impressive what DLSS can do.
Especially, you know, if you want to enjoy ray tracing, that's going to have like quite a significant impact on your performance. But then you turn on DLSS, it's like magic. It's like the quality is still there, but your FPS is like, yeah, definitely a bit like magic. All right, guys. Now all I'm missing is a date. Look at this scenario. So now I'm even hitting 100. So this area, I guess it's a little bit easier to render for the game. Okay, now let me go to 1440p to see what the performance is going to be like then. Okay, after I finish one more guy.
There's a question on Twitch from Ace of Thorn. It's asking, I need to get 240 Hz monitor, 1 millisecond, and 440p. Is there one available from MSI?
I'm sorry, I was listening. 144? What?
Question is, Ace of Thorn wants to buy a 240 Hz, 1 millisecond,
40 millisecond,
and then 1440p monitor.
Bing, 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 bing. We have a hit. You can go for our one of our best gaming monitors that we have at the moment, which is the 251 RX.
But that's a 1080p.
No, sorry, I meant a different one. So yeah, that was the 1080p with G-Sync. We have so many models. So 240, 1440p. We have the 165. We have the 144. 27-inch, right?
Didn't specify the size.
Didn't specify.
But I'm not sure if we have 240, 1440.
No, I can't think of any models because we have like tons of models. I know that we have, we're working on some models with that specification, but right now I can't
NDA
think
information
of a model.
incoming. NDA information incoming.
Well, it could be in 5 years, could be in 10 years, you know, I didn't say when, but it's
Could be
bound to come sometimes. But no,
So
I can't think of any models right now.
There might be something, but not at this point, unfortunately.
I must say that in order to get that, especially if you want to play AAA type of games, it's quite amazing at this moment. Alright, so conclusion with 1080p, without ray tracing, we're hitting between 80 and 100. And with ray tracing to ultra and DLSS to balanced, we're hitting between 70 and 80. Now let's see what happens when we play 1440p. Oh yeah, and I didn't really talk about power drop, but I just supposed that if you guys were interested, you can read this for yourself. For the GPU, you know, you're hitting about 250 for the GPU, and about 100 for the CPU, since the CPU isn't being pushed so hard, as this one is really so heavily GPU bound.
DJ Yaya is asking, I see you get Watch Dogs with the GPU, so do you get the game for free with the Ti5 purchase?
Yes. I believe you still have time until the 31st of December. All the details and requirements are on our website. If you're interested, you can go to msite.com, and then on the right upper corner you can go to promotions. And there you can look for the specific product category which is eligible right now for this bundle. It also goes for VGA and gaming monitors with the selected models. So let's rock 1440p. So everything else is still staying the same right now.
So here in the bottom of the screen you can now also see the direct link to it, msi.com/promotion. There you can find more information about the current promotions that are running, including the one with Watch Dogs Legion.
Wait until Mike turns to the 1440p one.
There we go.
There we go. So 1440p, everything's still setting at ultra, and man, do I notice a big difference. Yes, on my screen. Because I'm playing on the 27-inch, and there, if you're playing 1440p or 1080p, there's going to be a big difference in sharpness and details. Yeah, right now, so without DLSS and ray tracing, 1440p ultra, I'm hitting in this particular area with quite the draw distance and a big map between 70, 80-ish. So let me pick some fights.
Dark Morals Realm is asking on YouTube. I'm sorry, just joined. What game is this? This is Watch Dogs Legion.
What does this guy do? He's a janitor. Well, I didn't figure.
And Devin is asking, do you live stream every
wants to
day?
fight.
No, we live stream every week. Same places, same time. So every Wednesday.
Come on, hit back.
On Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Periscope as well.
He's running away. Come on.
Simon is asking, will you say hello to Eric? Well, hello, Eric. I'm sure Eric is watching.
Yeah, you can just directly say hello to him. Apparently I can play football. I didn't know that.
Alright, let's just say this is physical.
Alright, let's see what I'm made of.
Decent.
Ah,
Oh,
okay, with that
we're doing so
scenario
well. And then I
on
say
the background,
decent, and
that's
then
pretty nice.
you ruined
Yeah,
it.
but you're the party pooper, Michiel, so that's pretty clear.
I jinxed it.
Alright, so, okay, 70, 80-ish. Now let's turn on DLSS and ray tracing to the max. Let's see how this bad boy handles it. It pretty much stayed the same. I mean, maybe with like 5 or 8 FPS difference. So instead of 70, 80-ish, we're more sitting at 60, 70-ish. But man, this I gotta say,
is asking MSI
quite a
Optics
difference.
MAG 272 CRX is a 1440p 240 Hz monitor, isn't it? It is a 240 Hz monitor, but it's a 1080p monitor now.
especially when you look at the water, the reflection is really with ray tracing. It is like heavily difference. But yeah, still quite impressive the performance, I guess. I mean, for this game title. Ray tracing to ultra, DLSS only at balanced, not even at performance, so you can still enjoy all the nice details and the graphics. And I'm running smoothly, way above the 60 FPS requirement, so to speak, for the smooth game experience. He looks interesting. Alleged infamous burglar. All right, move on. Shall I go take a swim?
Or you can jump on a boat.
I don't like this guy. Come on, fight me. Fight me. Whoop, dodged it. Counter attack. Come on, fight me. Whoop, whoop. Missed again.
Do we have age restrictions on this stream?
I mean, I'm not even shooting. It should be fine.
Still slightly violent, though.
Oh, can I jump on this? No, missed it. The fighting mechanism is quite fun actually in this game. It's very simple. You have attack, mouse 1, you have the takedown, and then you can dodge any incoming punches by pressing spacebar. If you time it correctly, you can counter attack, which is really effective. And also when your opponent is like defending all the time, you can also break the defense. Yeah, Quite simple, but still
I
quite
see
fun.
some requests in YouTube chat. Can you show the water clarity is one of them, and the other one is, this may sound stupid, but can you walk up to a wall? I would like to see the texture of it.
Sure, the water clarity is definitely set to ultra, because everything else is on ultra. Well, let's see a wall that has enough lighting.
Water quality.
So that's one wall. Different walls have different kinds of textures, so let's take a look at a few.
Brian DV is asking, hey guys, I'm building a rig soon and I got a hold of a 3080 Supreme X. Congratulations, really nice car. I want to build an all MSI build. Which X70 would work best for a 5900X and a 3080? Depends a little bit on what you want. Do you want RGB? What do you want to do? Do you want to overclock with it? So it depends very much on what you're going to do with it. Also, will you use it for content creation? Will you use it for gaming mostly, or for both of them? Personally, one of my favorite boards is the MEG-X570 Unify, which is a completely black board. It has no RGB, but it looks really stylish in my opinion.
Okay, so coming back at what people used to ask about, the power draw and stuff like that. So, even with a 3080, you see that with a kind of like a maxed out performance, like between around 97, 98, 96, it's only drawing around 270-ish watts. And at this point, your CPU will never be fully pushed to 100%. So yeah, in this case, you can also see the CPU is only drawing about 100. So playing this game, even with everything maxed out, pushing your hardware to the max, your system is, with the peripherals included, maybe even just drawing about 450-ish wattage. So yeah, coming back to the question that some people had regarding the Trident X having 650 watts PSU, is that even enough for the 3080 and the 10900K? Most definitely.
If it is a good quality PSU, of course.
Can I hack those? I think I can hack them. No. Usually I can.
Francisco also has a nice suggestion for X570 motherboard. Tomahawk is also a very nice one indeed. Definitely good price performance ratio.
Let's go. Oh, whoops.
Salim is asking, will you launch new monitors, keyboards or mice with the Ti5? Now, we don't have any specific models, especially for the Aegis Ti5. But of course, we do have many different monitors, keyboards and mice available to choose from.
You can hack every vehicle, that's pretty nice.
JCap58 is asking on Twitch, any giveaways at the moment? Yes, if you go to msi.com/2/insider, or if you follow the link that I will put in the chat in, well, not a minute, but a couple of seconds. Then you will go to our Gleam page, and there you can participate in our Watch Dogs Legion giveaway that we have today. Right now.
Okay, I'm gonna drive to the objective. Oh, the NPCs are quite smart. Everybody's jumping out of the way.
And actually, for our last one of today in the giveaway, we have the very special version, right? Yeah.
Yes, we have the collector's edition with all the goodies inside.
So if you want to have a chance to win that collector's edition of Watch Dogs Legion, make sure to sign up for the giveaway right now if you haven't done so yet. If you already signed up today, no need to do it again because you will be automatically included in the next draw. Jesters1 is asking, where did you get your driver's license, Jeff?
I didn't. I thought that was pretty clear.
Fair point.
Albion have established an operational base in the Royal Court of Justice.
Albion owned by the courts now. It's like
All right,
picking
let's
up a gun
go.
directly to jail card at this point.
Exactly. But it likely means there's information here.
I like to
about
use
how
hand-to-hand
the
combat
target
instead of the
sends
gun.
the who and the why. We need that data if we're going to disrupt their operation.
Physical interaction needed. All right, fine. You want some of this? Hey, I can't hit him anymore.
You're brutal.
Open. All right, challenge completed. On to the next.
Bagley, what have we got?
A list of what Albion consider high
Simon is saying, I built a new computer recently, Z390 Gaming Edge Wi-Fi, i5 9600K, 32 gigabytes of DDR4, 3200 megahertz, 500 gigabytes Samsung EVO Plus SSD, MSI 3060 Ti, and NRMX 650 Revolution DF power supply. I think it looks like a nice combination. You should be able to play some nice games on that for sure. I like it.
Yeah, you're definitely not gonna notice Corona is going on right now.
Let's disrupt some of Albion's
Just
propaganda and give some
isolation,
hope to the people.
and you will easily get through with that gaming rig.
Yeah. All right. At least I completed one assignment, and I think we have already seen enough of the performance. Yeah, the FPS was quite good, knowing the game, and the power draw was very average. For the rest, I think, yeah, great performance, as you guys have also seen. Yeah, I think we can move on, Michiel, to today's last winners.
I think that's a very good idea. And in the meanwhile,
Winner or
we can-
winners?
Shall we do one more normal one and then one collector's edition?
Yes, I agree. So you guys, you get one extra prize.
So then we will have two more winners today. And let me see our next winner for today. This is for a regular game code for Watch Dogs Legion. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but Santosh, congratulations. You also won a game code for Watch Dogs Legion. And then we will go to our next winner, our big winner for today, who will win the collector's edition of Watch Dogs Legion.
Drum roll.
Oh, it's one of our regulars.
One of our regulars.
One of our regulars. CJ Bill, congratulations. You won
CJ
the
Bill.
collector's edition of Watch Dogs Legion
Congrats.
today.
Yeah.
So for all the winners, you will all receive an email in the coming days. For the winners of just the game code, we will provide you with the game code, as well as some information on how to claim the game.
You said his name wrong.
Oh, what did I?
Yeah, he just said you said his name wrong.
Ah. Duo Maxwell
But,
said that. Yeah, maybe better luck next time. And for CJ Bale, who won the collector's edition, we will also email you and ask you for your shipping information so we can send you your prize.
Alrighty, guys. So, what we're gonna do next week? Next week, yeah, we already heard some people talking about, are we gonna stream next week and stuff like that. Yes, we know it's close to Christmas, but next week we're also going to stream for you guys, and we're going to specifically tackle Cyberpunk 2077 with our 6800 XT. That's going to be some, I think, a very colorful, nice city.
Yeah, I saw a lot of questions today in chat already about Cyberpunk, already about the new AMD graphics cards. So we're going to combine those two into one live stream and play some Cyberpunk 2077 on the RX 6800 XT Gaming X Trio.
And who knows?
So make sure to be there.
How the performance of the 6800 XT
Same
is going to be next
same
week.
time. I see in chat the question. Yeah, Nevid is asking next week with Eric. Not sure yet. We haven't decided yet. So we will see. Perhaps. Maybe. Hey, but thanks for watching, everyone, today. Hope to see you again next week.
Thank you for stopping by.
On one of our channels. And see you then. In the meanwhile,
see you
stay
next time.
safe and goodbye.